everyone, this is Harsh and you are watching WPA World. In this video we are going to learn the basics of C Sharp. So let's see what we are going to learn in this tutorial. Okay, we will learn what is the C Sharp. Okay, after that we will learn what is .NET framework. After that we will learn what is programming language. Then we will learn what is object-oriented programming language. Then we will learn pillars of object-oriented programming language. Okay. After that we will learn why we use C Sharp. Then we will learn a C Sharp variable. After that we will learn a C Sharp data type. And then we will learn C Sharp operators. And then we will learn C Sharp typecasting. And then we will test whatever we learn. Okay. So let's start from what is the C Sharp. So first we will learn what is the C Sharp. Okay. C Sharp is a object-oriented programming language created by Microsoft that run on the .NET framework. Okay. What is .NET framework? .NET framework is a software development framework for building and running application on Windows. Right. .NET framework is original implementation of .NET. It supports running websites, services, desktop app, and more on Windows. It consists of two major components: the Common Language Runtime, which is also called CLR, which is an execution engine that handles running apps, and the .NET Framework class library, which provide the library of tested, reusable code that developer can call from their own app. Okay. Now let's see what is the programming language. As we know, to communicate with a person, we need a specific language, right? If we don't know the English, right, or if we don't know Hindi, then we need some person, right? That person may translate that language to our language, our native language, or some language that we can understand, right? So programming language is similar. Programmer also need a language which is called a programming language. Right? Programming language is a computer language that is used by programmer to communicate with the computer. It is set of instructions written in any specific language like C, C++, Java, Python, C Sharp to perform a specific task. What is object-oriented programming language? Object-oriented programming language, also known as OOP or OO programming, is a programming language pattern. In an object-oriented program, the code can be structured as reusable components, some of which may share property or behaviors. Object-oriented programming can improve the developer ability to quickly prototype software, extend existing functionality, refactor the code, maintain it as it's developed. Now let's see what's the pillars of object-oriented programming language. When programming in object-oriented programming language, keep the following four key concepts in mind. Okay, what are those? Encapsulation. What is this? The grouping of related functions and data like variable together into an object to help reduce complexity and allow part of code to be reused. Okay, that is called the encapsulation. What is abstraction? Okay, so only the essential to reduce the abstract of changes. We don't want to show other things that is not required. Okay. Inheritance: eliminate redundant code by inheriting function and data from other class. Like here we will have the relationship like parent and child. Like child can inherit the property of parent, right? Like that, it is same like that only. Here one class will inherit from other class. We'll see in later video. Okay. So what is the polymorphism? Change how an object function depending on the data or class, right? So polymorphism means the same type, same name, but different implementation. Like we have the method sum. Using that method, we can sum two variable. We can sum 2 value, we can sum 3 value like that, but the method name will be same, right? Like sum. We will pass 2 argument or 3 argument like that. Okay, we will see in later video. Okay. Now let's see why we use the C sharp. It is one of the most popular programming language in the world. It is easy to learn and simple to use. It has a huge community support. C Sharp is an object-oriented language which gives a clear structure of programs and allow codes to be reused, loading development cost. Okay. As C Sharp is close to C, C++, and Java, it makes it easy for programmer to switch to C Sharp or vice versa. Okay. Why C Sharp is used? Okay. C Sharp is used for Windows application, mobile app with Xamarin, database application, video game with Unity, web apps with ASP.NET, web services. Okay. C Sharp IDE. The easiest way to get started with C Sharp is to use an IDE. An IDE is used to edit and compile the code. Okay, IDE means integrated development environment, right? Now let's create one simple project. Here I will use Visual Studio, right? So how we can create the object in Visual Studio using C Sharp? So click on File menu, then click on New, and then click on Project. Okay. Here we can search for console application. This is the first one, and I will here you can see this is C Sharp, right? So I will take this one, or you can take also this .NET framework. I want to create the console application using .NET Core. Okay. So we will select this and click on Next, and then we will give the name it as C Sharp demo. Okay. Then click on Next. Here also you can change the .NET Target Framework version, but I will keep it as it is. Click on Create. Okay, you can see there is one class is created by default, right? And here you can see in Solution Explorer, you can see the project C Sharp demo. Here we have one class, which is this one. And this is by default. By default, Visual Studio will create this thing, right? So this is the class. This is namespace, like where we created that project. And this is the main method where program will start, right? And this is used for write line, like it will write to the console this message. Means once we run this one, we will get output as a hello world. Okay, let's run and see. You can also use F5 key to run this application. Okay, if you can see here, it is showing that, right, WP world, right? It's also telling press any key to close the window. If you press any key, then it will close the application, right? This is the first programming in C Sharp. I hope you learned how to create the project. Okay, now let's see what is variable. Variable is nothing but the name of memory location, or we can say variable are container used to store the data. Its value can be changed and it can be reused many times. Okay. The basic variable type available in C Sharp can be categorized as like this. We have the table. We can see here there is a variable type, and this is the example column, right? For variable type decimal, we have the decimal. For boolean type, we have the value true or false. Okay. For integral type, we have int, char, byte, short, long. We can see using the example. Okay. Float point type, it will be float or double. There are two type of floating point type. Okay. Nullable type means nullable data type, where we can assign null value to that data type. Okay. Rule of defining the variables. What are the rule? How we can define the variable? A variable can have alphabet, digit, and underscore, right? A variable name can start with alphabet and underscore only, not with digit, right? It can't start with digit. If you write digit first, then alphabet, it will throw the compile time error. Okay. No white space is allowed within variable. Like if you want to write the name like Kumar Hers, Kumar space Hers, we can't do that. We have to write Kumar Hers. We don't have to add any space between this. Okay. A variable name must not be any reserved word or keyword like char plot, as you see that data type, right? We had the example char plot that we cannot use. Like we can't use the like class keyword because it's reserved word. We can't use that reserved word. Syntax for declaring the variable. We have to first write the data type of that variable, then we can give the name to that variable and we can assign the value. Okay. Now let's see how to declare a variable. Okay, how we can declare the variable. We should write the data type. Now I will use the int data type and then the variable name like score I will write. Okay, and we can assign the value 100. Okay, this is the correct declaration of variable. Okay, if you want to use some digit, right, to score, it will give the error. You can see this error, but we can use in last or in between, right? We can write like this. We can also write like this. Okay, and if you let's see if we write the give the space between the variable, what will happen? Then also we will get the error, right? If we want to write is code max, we want to differentiate these two things. We can write like this. We can make use of underscore, but we can't give the space between this. Okay, and we can also declare a variable start with the underscore, right? This is correct, right? And what if we want to declare a variable with reserved word like integer reserved word? Then also it will give the error. I hope you understand how we can declare the variable. What is data type? A data type specifies the type of data that a variable can store, such as integer, floating, character, right? There are three types of data type in C# language: value data type, reference data type, and pointer data type. Value data type like sort, int, char, float, and double, etc. In difference type, we have string, class, object, and interface. For pointer data type, we have pointer. Okay. What is value data type? The value data type are integer based and floating point based. Okay, there are two type of value data type in C# language. Predefined data type such as integer, boolean, float, etc. because it is already defined in that C#, right? We have user defined data type. We can define our own data type using the structure or enumeration. Okay. What is reference data type? It contains a reference to the variable, not the value. Okay. It do not contain the actual data stored in the variable, right? It will not store the variable. It will contain the reference to that variable. If the data is changed by one of the variable, the other variable automatically reflects this changes in the value because it's updating the reference to that variable. It's not updating the value. If we update that value to that same location, it will reflect every place where we are using that reference type. Okay, there are two type of reference data type in C# language. One is predefined data type such as object, string. We already have this. We don't have to create this string data type. We don't have to create the object data type, right? User defined data type such as class. We can create the class, right? create the interface. So it is called user defined data type because we are defining this data type. But object and string we are not going to define, it's already defined, just we have to use it. Okay. What is pointer data type? The pointer in C# language is a variable. It is also known as locator or an indicator that point to an address of a variable, address of a value. Symbol used in pointer ampersand sign known as address operator, and it determines the address of the variable. Asterisk signs known as indicator operator, and it accesses the value of an address. Okay, what is C# operator? An operator is simply a symbol that is used to perform operation on variable and values. There can be many type of operations like arithmetic, logic, and bit byte. Okay, there are following type of operator to perform different type of operation in C# language. What are those? Arithmetic operators like plus, minus, divide, cross, or modulus. Okay, relational operator like less than equal to greater than equal to double equal to means we want to compare the two variable, then we can use a double. We have not equal to, okay, as a relational operators. Logical operator like and or not. Okay, bitwise operator like and bitwise or bitwise. Shift operator. Okay, assignment operator like equal plus equal, we will see in example. Okay, unary operator like plus plus minus minus, there should not be any space between this plus plus or minus minus if we want to use this unary operator. Ternary operator like question mark and colon. Miscellaneous operators like size of, type ops. Okay, what is precedence of operator? The precedence of operator specifies that which operator will be evaluated first and next. The associativity specifies the operator's direction to be evaluated. It may be left to right or right to left. Okay. Now we can see the table and we can make use of this table to evaluate the expression, right? If you can see the postfix, if we are going to use postfix, then its associativity is from left to right. Means first it will calculate from left, then right. Likewise, we have the table and we can take a difference of this and we can evaluate the expression. Okay. What is typecasting? When you assign a value of one data type to another data type, it is called a casting. In C#, there are two types of casting. One is implicit casting, which will be performed automatically, like converting a smaller type to larger data type. It is done automatically when passing a smaller size type to a larger size type. Like we can convert char. If we assign char to int, it will automatically convert, means it is implicit casting. In the same way, if we assign int to long, that will be also a implicit casting. If we will assign long to float, it will be also implicit casting. What is explicit casting? Means we have to do it manually, converting a larger type to a smaller type. Okay, it must be done manually by placing the type in parenthesis in front of the value. Like if you want to convert double to float, then we have to write double inside the parenthesis, then only it will convert, otherwise it will give the error. It is also possible to convert data types explicitly by using built-in methods such as convert to boolean method. We already have this method, we can use this method, right? Because it is built-in, we have this kind of method and we can make use of this method to convert any type. Okay, now let's test our skill, what we learn here. C# is structure programming language or object oriented programming language. You have to answer in comment. Okay, C# is used for Windows application or mobile app with Xamarin or web service or all of the above. Write the answer in comment. Okay. Which of the following are value type? Short, int, string, class. We have this option and you can write this in comment. I hope you know the answer. You can write this in the comment. Valid variable declaration. How we can declare the variable? Can we declare variable like this? Like first we give the digit and then the alphabet. Is it possible? Or we can write underscore before the variable name. Or we can use any reserved word while declaring the variable. Or we can have any space between the variable name like that. You can write the answer in comment. Okay. Which of the following is not an arithmetic operator in C#.NET? Star, plus, divide, modulus. If you found any mistake, correct me in comment. If this is helpful for you, then you can share this video to others.